We are going to have a very, very uncomfortable conversation tonight. And I know y'all read the title, okay? Ladies, if you are easily triggered, this live stream is not for you. Although I will tell you that if you are truly trying to understand what it takes in order to be successfully married, because again, I say this on a regular basis, and there's a difference between being successfully married and getting married. It's a difference between a woman telling you, well, I can find a man and I can have a man if I want to. No, you can't. When you hear women say things like, I'm single by choice, no, you're not. You may be able to find a man to take you out. You may even be able to find a man to feed you. If you really good, you might even be able to find a man to spend a little bit of money on you and he gonna bust you down. But it's a difference between a man that will commit to you and give you his last name and the man that you want versus a guy that will just date you or take you out or get the best of you and then leave you and discard you for the streets. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that feel a certain type of way. If you've been rocking for me for any extended level of time, then you know that I do not give a fuck about your feelings. My goal is to get you over the finish line. My goal is to teach you the truth so that you can then implement the lessons that I'm giving you in order to be successful at whatever it is that you do, whether it be in the money with the Millionaire Morning Show, whether it be with regard to these relationships, whether it be with regard to not running in the Victim Olympics. We don't care about your feelings. Fuck your feelings. Take your feelings out to the back door, throw it in a trash can, and then come back and join the live stream. If you cannot handle that, if you think that I'm here to make you feel good, you are in the wrong place. Go ahead and remove yourself from the live stream. I'm cool with it. I'm not going to trip about it. I'm not going to beg you to come back. Unsubscribe. But if you feel like this is important for you to learn in order for you to continue to go in the direction that you're supposed to go in with people that's going to tell you the truth because they love you, not just tell you what you want to hear so that they can continue to enable bad behavior, then you are in the right place. And here's the fact of the matter, right? A, women are overvaluing themselves. Well, how do we know that women are overvaluing themselves? Well, the first sign and the first red flag is when they use words like, I deserve. You deserve what? You deserve what the market will bear. You deserve what it is that you attract. If the only thing that you've ever had and been able to attract is the worst things for yourself, then it's time to do a deep dive and look in the mirror instead of looking out the window and pointing the finger at everybody else. We're going to have a very, very, very uncomfortable conversation. And let me just tell you something. I am going to drop the link in the chat for you to be able to call in. You don't even have to get on camera. If you just want to tell me your thoughts and want to call in and say that I'm wrong, or you want to ask me a question, you're going to be more than willing to do so. If you want to get on camera and you want to be a part of the live stream and ask questions, you're more than willing to do that also. I'm going to give priority to the ladies, but my fellas, you are more than welcome to call in also, okay? But let's just get straight to the thick of it. The first red flag is when a woman says that I deserve. You don't deserve anything. You deserve what the market is willing to pay for your services. That goes for business. That goes for relationships. That goes for content creation. If ain't nobody checking for you, if ain't nobody trying to date you, if ain't nobody trying to put a ring on your finger, if ain't nobody trying to actually propose to you and give you their last name, that's worth their salt, that's worth their weight in salt, that's worth their weight in gold, then you, my friend, is not marriage material. And a lot of these women are delusional, and the reason that they're delusional is because they have an inflated sense of ego because they can't differentiate the difference between a guy that'll fuck them and a guy that'll marry him. They can't differentiate the difference between a guy that's worth his value and the guy that's actually not worth anything, but he's willing to do whatever it takes and tell you what you need to hear in order to fuck you. They can't separate the difference between a hoe and a housewife. And that's why when I have these live streams and I go live on Instagram and I'm having these conversations, they're so easily triggered when I use the word hoe. Why would you be triggered because I use the word hoe? If you use the word broke, black man, I'm not going to be triggered because I literally got on a $50,000 watch right now. My bank accounteth runneth over. And so it's nothing that you can tell me that will trigger me or make me feel a certain type of way because it doesn't apply. And if it doesn't apply, you let it fly. So when I identify a wife, if you don't fit that criteria, then you let it fly. If I identify a hoe and it hits you in the chest and you feeling a certain type of way, go ahead and leap and get froggy, and we're going to get that devil up out of your spirit. It's a demon. That whole spirit that you got in you, that's a whole demon in you. And you don't want to act like it's you when you want to sit over there and point the finger and look at her and point the finger at her and say, yeah, you a hoe. Yeah, you. Hey, somebody turn to their neighbor and say, you's a hoe. We're going to have church in here tonight. Somebody turn to your left, turn to your right. One of y'all is a hoe. You know how I know you's a hoe? I'm not no hoe. Why you not a hoe? You having sex out of wedlock with men that don't give a fuck about you. What makes you any different than any other woman? What gives you more sense of worth and more value than any other person out here? And why should he choose you out of his bevy of options? Because contrary to popular belief, when we say these great men, and there are a lot of them out there, they're just not in your vicinity and you can't see them, they're not in your purview. Contrary to popular belief, they out here. They're successful. They don't have a bunch of kids running around out here. They not out here being promiscuous and having sex out of wedlock. Contrary to popular belief, the statistics says that I'm right. But for some reason, you keep attracting the worst of us and then trying to hold all of us accountable for it. And then you go to church on Sunday and you say, God, send me a good man. And you ain't even finished getting the come up out of you from the dude that dropped in you on Saturday. So he dropped in you on Saturday. You didn't even finish getting the rest of him out of you by Sunday morning. And then you're supposed to be automatically forgiven because you went to confession. And then you shouted in church. Shout out to my sanctified folks, saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost. And now God is supposed to put him in harm's way by putting him in your life and then to fix what it is that's best about you, which is absolutely nothing, because the thing that you value yourself by is easily taken by everybody else. Why should we value it when it's so easily available? Somebody told me yesterday, they said the value of a woman is what's in between her legs, her womb. I said, who told you that? Why they lie to you like that, big dog? He said, you don't think so? I said, absolutely not. Shout out to my guy. Absolutely not. How is the value of a woman between what's between her legs and it's so readily available? If there's listen, classic supply and demand lesson, we're going to give you a small millionaire morning show smidget right now. If there's an oversupply of something, that means that we don't value it as much as something that's rare, right? The reason why they reserve and they try not to flood the market with diamonds is because they want to continue to keep the value of it high, because they know that the true value of it, because there's an overabundance of it. You can even make lab diamonds now. We can get a bill to bury you now. We can get a bill. It's a perceived perception of your value, but the reality of it is that it's not as valuable as you think it is, baby girl.